to KCAAradio.com.
Southern California's Inland Talk Express is KCAA.
KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and the stations that leave no listener behind. Good Thursday afternoon right here in the heat of July. Let's just put it that way. I think it's about 104. At least it feels like it's 104 outside. Eric, what do you think? Is it 104 outside? What's the temperature?
Yeah, it's very hot. I'll tell you that right now.
Very hot. Huh? Okay. Well, I am here with the Donald Williamson Taxsaver and More show. And, of course, we have Donald Williamson. Hello, Donald.
Hi there, Mark. And hi, all you radio listeners out there in Radio Land. We got both Tim will introduce our guests, and then I'll have some tax tips.
We've got an exciting show for you today. First of all, we'll begin with a gentleman from the San Bernardino Norton Museum. Now, you say Norton Museum, that's not the one in Pasadena. That's the one at the former Norton Air Force Base. Now it's the, I think, Norton Logistics Center here in San Bernardino. We're going to talk with Ken Nelson in just a moment. And then also, at the latter part of our show, we have a gentleman from the San Bernardino International Airport. He's the Director of Aviation, and his name is Mark Gibbs, and we look forward to talking to him too. But first of all, as we do traditionally, we start off with Donald Williamson and his tax-saving moments. So, Don, you're on.
Well, you know, Mark, there's a lot of heat out there, as you felt lately.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also dry, and that means it's fire season. Mm-hmm. And I've touched on it before, but I'll touch on it again because of the season that we're in, and that's the disaster calamity. There's lots of different calamities. All of them come under the guidelines of a disaster calamity.
Well, amazingly, we haven't had a lot of fires.
Well, that is
Get a little
amazing,
closer
but there
to
has been some places, though, that have had it. And yes, I haven't heard of too many around here. Around 4th of July I did, but we know why.
You know, we had 980 responses from San Bernardino County firefighters for 4th of July illegal fireworks. Just ridiculous. Over $1 million spent on fire responses. They did one heck of a job. Let me tell you, there weren't major fires really anywhere. There was some burning here and there, but really it was amazing. You could just see the sky just going off left and right. And, you know, people, I don't know what they think. They're lighting fireworks off of open fields with grass and brush, and you're endangering yourself because, number one, if you're in the middle of a field and it catches on fire and it's a field that's dry brush, it's coming for you, and if the wind's going, it's coming fast. You better get out of there. And we've seen that. We've seen people get killed that way. But the other thing is, you know, people have homes and families, and you know, you could possibly destroy somebody's house, their livelihood, everything.
Or them.
For a cheap thrill. It's just not good. I don't mind the fireworks that stay on the street. That, you know,
we call that safe and sane.
All right, safe and sane fireworks that we all used to grow up with as a kid. But the ones they're getting from down south, wherever they're getting from, firing them up in the sky. You need to leave that to the experts and the really pyrotechnic trained people. When you're doing it, you have no control over what that projectile is going to do. That projectile could hit somebody, it could hurt somebody. It could catch on any manner of things on fire. So we're through that. Thanks, heavens.
I'm surprised that up in the mountains in Crestline, Lake Gregory, they every year have a nice fireworks display shot off over the lake. But that's not a real huge lake. And there's all kinds of big old pine trees all around it.
But they know what they're doing.
Yes, and so far they've gotten away with it. And I own a place right adjacent to the lake. So,
or Little Bear Lake. You know Little Bear Lake? Do you know what that is? What that's called today?
I haven't heard of that.
Lake Arrowhead was formerly Little Bear Lake. Little Bear Lake. And they have fireworks over there, but they know what they're doing. They get it over the fire.
Yeah, and as long as
they've got fire trucks there and everything else. So.
That's right. They're prepared, but as long as there's not a wind that comes up,
I'm sure they take all that into account.
They can probably get away with
Well, we
that.
took kind of a left turn because you were going to talk about something real quick, and then we got to get to our first guest.
Yeah, all disasters come under, it's the state laws, And all of them, no matter what they are, even ones you don't think we have tornadoes around here, but we do. It includes those, earthquakes, which we have plenty of, and fires and wind damage. Big wind damages can, if you got a severe wind, can blow your whole roof off. And that's pretty expensive. As long as it's 10,000 or more in damage, you can contact the county assessor's office, the local office, and they can temporarily lower your valuation until it's been fixed. So it depends on if the house is burnt complete to the ground. Around July 4th, there was houses that burnt to the ground, and all from the big ones, the illegal ones. And most cities really ganged up on getting serious with big fines, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 fines, and then if it goes up for repeated offense, up to $10,000, and so on. And it's good that they're getting serious with them big fireworks. And it did help. I think it did lower the response for that. But because many years ago, when I was a county assessor, I found 8 of them, 8 houses, individual houses, that burnt to the ground in Rialto alone, just one city.
And then we could get a tax thing. So we're going to move on to our next guest now, because we took it up too much time talking about fireworks, and I don't want to slight our guest who came all the way down here to preserve, honor, and promote the history of Norton Air Force Base and its museum. We have with us Ken Nelson, who is the treasurer on the board of directors for the museum. And let's talk with Ken. Ken, tell us a little bit about yourself, and welcome to KCAA.
Well, thank you. I was transferred out here in 1976 to Norton Air Force Base. Mm-hmm. I was aircraft commander out there and flew in San Bernardino for 4 years, and then subsequently got out. The economy wasn't real good in 1980, so subsequently the airlines weren't hiring. I had to go get a real job rather than being a pilot for that time. And,
gosh.
So yeah, life is hard, but yeah.
And then you came back eventually, obviously.
Well, I came back as volunteer after I retired. I was in insurance here for 25 years, and I just found. I'm sorry.
Life insurance?
Primarily automobile, homeowners,
gotcha.
A little bit of life insurance, but our primary focus was auto and home, and I worked with school employees. So it was kind of niche marketing, and fell in love with the area, and I stayed here. When I first came out, it was all-American city, and subsequently it's not quite so much anymore, but I still love the area.
They're working on it.
Yeah, every day. And but volunteered down at the museum, and as we say, Norton Air Force Base, where history takes flight.
Well, history takes flight. And again, folks, we're not talking about the Norton Simon Museum down in Pasadena, which is a very famous museum. We're talking about the Norton Air Force Base Museum. Now, is this a museum just about Norton Air Force Base, or about air aviation history, or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. We have a number of segmented portions of the deal where we show women in aviation. We have sections for World War II, Vietnam, pretty much when Norton was around.
You know, I was there probably 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I stood up against a big piece of the Berlin Wall.
That is correct, and we still have that there, and it's amazing. You look on the West Berlin side, and the walls are smooth, a little bit of graffiti on it. Vice versa. I'm sorry, the other way around. The East Berlin side was pretty pristine. The West Berlin side, where it was a free, people could do what they wanted. It was really decimated. Hammer sledges, all sorts of damage to it. People showing their dislike for the situation as it was.
As of course, yeah.
Norton was very active during the Berlin airlift.
I tell a lot of younger people, they had a wall between East and West Berlin, and the Easterners were under communism, and they could not go over that wall.
That's
and
correct.
they could not be there, and they really hated being there. And then when it fell, I think in 1982 or 3 or something like that.
After Reagan.
Tear down that wall and all that stuff. Portions of that wall got shipped out everywhere because it was but our young people can't believe that a wall was built along a border in an entire country.
And separate a huge city. That was, and when they closed it down, the west side had no way to supply themselves, so we had to come in with C-141s and fly the supplies in, and they kept West Berlin going for a good period of time just on airlift.
Yeah, that was a while back and a long time. So, you know, refresh my memory. If I wanted to go to the Norton Air Force Base Museum, first of all, how would I get there? What street is it off of?
It is right off 3rd Street, and the nearest major crossroad would be Del Rosa. It's 1601 East 3rd Street in San Bernardino.
1601 East 3rd Street in San Bernardino. And then do you have hours of the museum?
We have relatively limited hours. It's all done by volunteers. So we're open on Thursdays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we have a staff of docents that will take people around and explain what they're seeing, or people can come and wander through the museum as they see fit.
So Thursdays and Saturdays from 10 a.m.
to 2 p.m.
Not very long.
No, but as I say, if we had more people, and we're always looking for more volunteers, so.
But you're keeping all these artifacts safe and sound and clean and in good order, I would imagine. If you went to the museum, what would you expect to find inside the museum?
We have a number of things. We just recently added a state-of-the-art flight simulator. So the younger people, and as a matter of fact, we had a woman that was probably about my age, around 75 or so, was into it this morning, and she took off the airplane and landed it all by herself. I was there showing her how to do it and helping her along, but that and the kids love it too.
And she's got all the feeling and everything.
Yeah, she was surprised because she didn't think it would be as realistic as it is. We've built a surround cockpit, and it really is state of the art. So we're excited about that. We have a number of different displays. Women in aviation. We have artifacts from Amelia Earhart. She actually stopped in San Bernardino and gassed up, and we've got the receipt for when she was there. And Pinky Breyer, that she was out of Tri-City Airport in San Bernardino.
Where Hospitality Lane was, there was an airport called Tri-City Airport.
And she was something else. She was a salty old gal. Had, from what I understand, 39,000 hours of flying time, which, is just phenomenal.
Back way a long time ago, there was a city councilman named Frank Schnetz. And Frank had a pretty good relationship with Pinky, and so did Bill Lehman. And somehow or other, with the two of them, I wound up in a warehouse she had down in Hospitality Lane with a lot of artifacts still in it. And she was gone already. And, of course, a lot of the Tri-City Airport had been developed into what we now know as, anything from Chuck E. Cheese's to the 24-hour fitness to the Sam's and the Costco.
Home Depot,
Home Depot. All of that was the Tri-City Airport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was something. So, you're thinking about going to this. It's on 3rd. It's 1601 3rd Street.
East 3rd Street,
East 3rd Street. And the nearest cross street is Del Rosa.
That is correct.
Okay. And you got to go there on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Is there a charge to get in or donation?
No, it's absolutely free. We do accept donations. We've got a little box that you don't have to pay money, but if you want to, we have a box for it.
A box that's connected to your heart. If you really support museums and really support history and support this particular history, Don. I'm just kidding.
He's pointing to me.
If you want to go there and you want to donate a scratcher or something, that would be great too. Do you open it up ever to groups for special exhibitions?
Exactly. And if you can't have your group come at the designated times we're normally open, with advance notice, we can always have people that will be able to help.
Yeah. And we have our next guest here. We can invite him in to come and sit down in the nice, comfortable chair right here. And we'll be with you in just a moment. We're kind of informal around here, even though we're on the air. We're talking with Ken Nelson right now for our ladies and gentlemen and people that just joined us. He is the treasurer on the board of directors for the San Bernardino Norton Air Force Base Museum. We're talking about the museum and what's in it and how to find it, and how to support it a little bit. And typically, what's the type of person that comes to the museum?
We have a broad range of people. Most people will be looking through the internet saying, what's to do in San Bernardino this weekend? And obviously we pop up there, and
Do you know how many square feet your museum is?
we have 2,000 square feet. And we, through IVDA, they are gracious enough to give us a spot there, or we probably wouldn't be able to have it.
That's the Joint Powers Authority, I believe, that's over the whole region right there.
That's correct.
Yeah. And let me ask you a question here. What's the most favorite part of the museum for you?
For me right now, it's the simulator, simply
okay.
because that's where my heart is in flying. But so many different things. We have displays of Leland Norton. Kind of an interesting story. We received a call approximately 9 months ago. A woman had come across a footlocker that the personal effects of Leland Norton were mailed back to San Bernardino in. Now, this woman acquired this footlocker from a flea market in Fontana, paid $3 for it. And this footlocker had been just floating around the area for 80 years. No one knows where.
Amazing. How
And,
did she know it was the Leland Norton footlocker? Did
because
it say
it had it stenciled on the outside.
Well, that works.
But she really didn't know who Leland Norton was, so she Googled it. And when
She didn't even know who he was.
No.
Oh, amazing.
so she Googled it and found out it was Norton Air Force Base was named after this gentleman. And
And that's why it's so important to have the museum, because, like, I was talking to people, we were talking to this young kid, about the Berlin Wall, which you have a piece of it out there. He had no idea that there was a wall between East and West Germany.
Yeah.
And I believe there's probably young kids that are born in 1998, years after, about 5-6 years after the base was closed, that won't know what Norton or Leland Norton was.
there's people, a whole bunch of people right now, they didn't know what Norton Air Force Base was.
Yeah.
They just assumed it San Bernardino Airport, and
Just drive through it and drive past it.
Yeah.
And of course, I remember as a kid, and you were a Marine. You probably went on to the base too, Donald.
They had a BX out there.
Yeah, BX and a commissary. I used to go with my parents, and we'd go through the gate, and we had the little Department of Defense sticker on there, and the booth at, I think it was 3rd in Del Rosa to drive through.
We have a little photo opportunity we just recently acquired. It has a picture of the old gate with the sentries sitting out in front.
They salute you and stuff.
we have it outside on the side of the building so people can have a photo op there.
I can remember as a young kid going to the Burger King. That restaurant's still there. It's called something else now, some sort of a fish restaurant. There's a Burger King there at Norton Air Force Base. They had chapels there. They had a bowling alley there. I remember going swimming at a pool that was there. They had a little plunge
They
there.
had 3 pools,
Yeah. And just all kinds of activities you could do. And it was a whole community within a community.
That's exactly what we try and accentuate in the museum because, as I say, we don't have the room for the hardware.
The Officers Club, yeah.
Officers Club's long gone. That was leveled, but we're in the old NCO club, as is IVDA, and they, as I said, are gracious enough to give us the space. So
I toured that after it was redone. It's pretty nice.
it is very nice.
I had a friend of mine, true story, that from this area, San Bernardino area, but he went to the NCO club way back, and they had a little drink or 2 or 3, And at midnight, when they shut down and they had to go home, guess who was sitting on the outside in a patrol car? And they stopped him, and he got a ticket. They got all in, and they got a ticket, and
The MPs, I take it, is what you're talking about.
no, that was the police department.
Oh, the actual police
Yeah,
department.
could have been highway patrol. I'm not sure if it was highway sheriff or.
Was this before or after the base actually closed in 1993, I believe?
It was probably after it. I don't know.
Okay, well, anyway, that's an interesting story.
I don't have any idea.
I
He's
imagine
gone
it was
now, so
before
I-
the base
I
closed
can't ask
because
him. Yeah, because he was at the NCO club.
My dad tells a story that, once in a while they go to the officers club and, they have a little snoots, too many or whatever. and the place closed, and the MPs would meet him and greet him at the door and take him home.
Oh, okay.
There wasn't any DUIs.
They
or
didn't take
anything
him
like-
home.
But I think that's a
Sheriff,
better way. Maybe we should not
Unless
have
he
the
lived
booze
at the
police.
Great Bar Hotel.
Anyway, we're kind of getting off track, and I want to keep the focus on this wonderful museum. How many square feet is it?
2,000 square feet. And
Not big, but yeah.
yeah, we have it jammed. And basically, everything is donated.
So depending on how intense you want to get, you can go there and spend 15 or 20 minutes probably, or
You could do that,
or spend all
but
afternoon.
most people spend about an hour and a half.
Do the elementary schools or any of the schools take tours?
We have tours come in on a regular basis. A lot of organizations come in. Today we had a bus with probably 20 seniors came in from one of the developments in San Bernardino.
But today's
So,
Thursday, yeah, I guess.
today's Thursday.
So
yes.
you're open on Tuesdays and Saturdays, so it must have been a special day.
Thursday and Saturday.
Thursdays and Saturdays. Thursdays and Saturdays at 2 p.m. at 3rd and Del Rosa, 1601 3rd Street. Tell us, is there, before we go, I can't read this because I'm getting older and my eyes are too small. Do you know the website on this for the Norton Air Force Base Museum?
It's nafbmuseum.org.
Norton Air Force Base Museum.org. NAFB is the letters for it, though. NAFBmuseum.org. And you can visit that, and you can find out visiting hours and
That's correct. And
donate probably on there.
I'm sorry.
Can you donate there?
Yes, you can. As a matter of fact, they have a PayPal link that you can send donations in on that.
So how long, Ken, have you been working on this?
I have been with the museum for approximately 4 years now. The museum has actually been open since 2013.
And what if you wanted to volunteer for out there and to
Just
be a
give
docent?
us a call or come by and kind of see what we do, take a look and see if it looks like a fit for something you'd enjoy doing.
Again, I can't see the phone number, so tell us the phone number.
It is 909-382-7307.
909-382-7307.
That is correct.
And, I think our radio station will do a little public service announcement and put that to you.
And
put
we also
together for
have
you.
a email address which you could send to nafmuseum@gmail.com.
All right. Very good. And I can blow that up later after hours here to be able to read it. But, Ken, it's been such a pleasure having you and talking about this wonderful museum.
Well, thank you very much,
and a
Mark.
piece of San Bernardino history. And it's been a delight.
As I say, where history takes flight.
Thank you. Where history takes flight, the Norton Air Force Base Museum. Ken Nelson, and Ken has been our guest. At the next part of our program, we'll have Mark Gibbs from the San Bernardino Airport, Director of Aviation. Next, right here on KCAA, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
$40.
Southern California's Inland Talk Express is KCAA.
And now, the voices of KCAA with an exciting announcement.
Want to hear NBC News or KCAA anywhere you go?
Well, now there's an app for that.
KCAA is celebrating 25 years and our silver anniversary with a brand new app.
The new KCAA app is now available on your smart device, cell phone, in your car, or any place.
Just search KCAA on Google Play or in the Apple Store.
One touch and you can listen on your car radio, Bluetooth device, Android Auto, or Apple CarPlay.
Catch the KCAA buzz in your earbuds or on the streets, celebrating 25 years of talk, news, and excellence with our new KCAA app.
Just do it and download it.
KCAA, celebrating 25 years.
Our sponsor, Applied Earthworks, serves the Inland Valley in Southern California for over 24 years, specializing in cultural resource management, an expert in archaeology, paleontology, architectural history, and historic preservation, making it possible to build for the future without sacrificing our cultural heritage. Learn more and see employment opportunities at appliedearthworks.com. Progress and preservation. Applied Earthworks supports our veterans.
Come stop by Bear and Kona's Coffee Shop in San Bernardino. Open 6 days a week and closed on Sunday because even the best deserves a rest. Bear and Kona's Coffee Shop, 424 East Hospitality Lane in San Bernardino. They've got everything you need from their delectable coffee and teas that pair perfectly with their breakfast burritos to their savory and scrumptious sandwiches. And don't worry, they got something for us spice lovers. So make sure to stop by Bear and Kona's Coffee Shop in San Bernardino and tell them Family Street Food sent you.
If you're looking for a full or part-time sales position and you have radio, TV, or print media experience, KCAA has a great opportunity waiting for you that pays the highest commissions in the market. If you're interested in a sales position with us, email CEO@kcaaradio.com.
KCAA. Located in the heart of San Bernardino, California, the Teamsters Local 1932 Training Center is designed to train workers for high-demand, good-paying jobs in various industries throughout the Inland Empire. If you want a pathway to a high-paying job and the respect that comes with a union contract, visit 1932trainingcenter.org to enroll today. That's 1932trainingcenter.org.
KCAA.
KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM in a blistering kind of summer afternoon. We got a hot topic here and hot weather outside. And Mark Westwood back with you and Donald Williamson. Hello, Donald.
Hello again, and hello to all the radio listeners that just joined us.
On the Donald Williamson Taxpayer Saver and More show, we are glad to be back with you. We really enjoyed Ken Nelson in the last part of our show. He is the treasurer and board, one of the board members on the Norton Air Force Base Museum, which is just quite a museum. NAFB museum.org, I believe. And their hours are Thursdays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. free. And it's a couple thousand feet or more of great Norton Air Force Base history, area aviation history. And I encourage you to go and call them up. They are quite the organization of all volunteers. I forgot to ask you how you were funded. How are you funded? Just by donations?
Donations and grants.
Donations and grants, just by donations and grants. Okay, and that brings us, it's a Norton Air Force Base themed day today on our show. And that brings in our next guest, Mark Gibbs. Welcome. He's Director of Aviation of Norton Air Force, of the San Bernardino International Airport.
Well said. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Don. Appreciate you guys having me out today.
We appreciate you coming out on this very hot, blistery kind of afternoon. I hope you're comfortable. And let's sit down and dig in. And there's so much fascinating stuff going on. I see so many more planes in the air. You must be a busy guy.
You know, it is getting busy at San Bernardino International these days. It's really changed a lot from the Norton Air Force Base, and there's a ton of stuff we could talk about, Mark, so I hate to lead because you probably have a list of questions, but it's definitely getting busy these days.
You must be proud, though. You must be proud of what's going on there, because I remember when I first started building it and the parking lots were empty and the terminal was never open, and at one point they were advertising for people to work counters and stuff like that. And I knew somebody, I sent him out there. He says, "They're not open, Mark. They're just not even open. How can I get a job out there?" I says, "Okay, well, that makes sense." But now, Mark, you're part of an airport owned by Joint Powers Authority, right?
That is correct. I've actually worked there since 2003. So I came up from the Bay Area.
Okay.
I used to work for United Airlines up there. And when I took this job, I remember my brother saying to me, he laughed, and he said, "Are they going to have enough money to pay you?"
Yeah.
And the reality was, he wasn't that wrong. It was a hard time for a long time at the airport.
Took a little dedication, I would take it.
It did.
Now, for our folks just tuning in, we're talking with Mark Gibbs. He's the Director of Aviation at San Bernardino International Airport, which is coming more and more on the radar, so to speak, pardon the pun. But, it also has a lot of flights out there. And I said something that maybe you don't people might not understand. Joint Powers Authority means that it's the joint powers of like Loma Linda, the city of Loma Linda, the city of Highland, the city of San Bernardino. Am I leaving anybody out? Maybe city of Redlands?
So it's the city of San Bernardino, city of Colton, city of Loma Linda, city of Highland, and the county of San Bernardino. So they all appoint an elected official to our board, and those are our shareholders.
And the board has a CEO. We shouldn't fail, just to keep you safe. What's his name?
Mike Burrows.
Mike Burrows, okay. And so Mike Burrows, he probably is an elected official somewhere?
He's not. No, he's an appointed CEO.
Okay.
So he's private sector guy, not an elected position.
So there was a terminal out there for the Air Force Base. And, when the Air Force Base closed, they weren't going to use it, of course. And they went out there and kind of redid the Air Force Base terminal to make it more passenger friendly. Is that correct?
Yeah, in those early days, like when I started, there was a lot of bread and butter infrastructure projects that had to take place. So the first 10 years that I was there, it was all about getting that infrastructure converted from the military days and available for public use facilities. And what I mean by that, those heavy infrastructure projects, we replaced the entire runway, and that's 10,000 feet long, 200 feet wide, 4 feet thick, right? You're talking about big, heavy industrial type facilities. So we replaced the runway, taxiways, put in a new fuel farm, rehabilitated all the hangars, reconstructed the domestic terminal, built an international terminal, built a corporate terminal, built general aviation hangars,
Just built.
Built like crazy for about 10 years.
Don has a question.
Yes.
Get ready.
Yes, when you mentioned the runway, I understood during the military times, they buried all kinds of things underneath that. Did you happen to remove a lot of that stuff?
Well, I tell you, Don, we looked for them. I'd heard those same rumors, and we looked, and we dug.
And you didn't find them?
And we dug, but we never found gold. No, never
Well,
did.
I didn't mean gold.
We didn't find anything too exciting. We did find dirt. We found some concrete. We found some
Dirt.
asphalt.
It's amazing you'd find dirt under a runway. But, I think that's folklore maybe then, I guess. Or maybe it got removed beforehand.
Well, I'm not saying it's not out there. I'm just saying we didn't find it.
That's curious.
No IUDs. Nothing's going to explode. So don't worry about that, folks. But so the airport, there's a lot of parking lots out there. I have not personally been inside the terminal since
You're
the
missing
first
out.
days.
It's a great time.
You could just go there and look around?
Well, you can go. Now, the TSA guys make you have a ticket.
There you go.
But you can go to the what we call the landside portion of the terminal. That's like baggage claim, ticket counters, coffee shop kind of thing.
Okay, where people land and get out. Now, you do have a number of air companies flying in and out of there now.
We do, yeah. So we do have a commercial passenger service, which is what you're talking about at
Breeze?
the domestic terminal. It's a company founded by kind of an aviation legend now. His name, is synonymous with JetBlue, WestJet, Azul down in Brazil. Founded Morris Air.
Wow.
Southwest Airlines tried to make him their CEO in the 90s when he was with Morris Air. Instead, he sold the company to him and then went and founded JetBlue. So now his latest adventure in aviation is Breeze Airways. It's a really good product, low prices.
Did he start with the beginning of Breeze, or does he just come on lately?
Yeah,
with
no, he was the founder, just like with those other airline companies like JetBlue and so forth. He's the founder of Breeze Airways as well, and he's currently their CEO.
Breeze Airways is kind of, I don't know if it's 747s they use, or what do they use?
So it's a fleet of Airbus A220s.
Fleet of Airbus A220s, so nice and spacious.
It's kind of the same size as the early generation of 737s. So think back to like the late 70s, early 80s. It's kind of that size.
About how many planes are normally housed at Norfolk with Breeze? Do you have that number off the top of your head, or does it change all the time?
Well, they continue to bring on airplanes, and of course they're established around the country now. They got a much stronger presence on the East Coast, but they've been growing the West Coast. We were part of their West Coast launch And it's really taken. The community's
Mhm.
really liking Breeze, and it truly is.
I
a
hear
good
nothing but
product.
good things about it.
It's all true.
Nothing about good. The service is good. The flights are on time. The airplanes are clean.
The parking's only $5 a day.
And that's what I hear. Lillian was talking
It's
about.
real. It's
that.
hard to believe in this day and age, but
Yeah.
it is real.
Parking is only, and plenty of parking. Yeah.
Covered
And
parking, no less.
Covered parking.
I know. It's crazy.
I didn't know that. And then the airline tickets aren't that expensive. They're pretty much.
They're very reasonable.
And what Lillian's my news person, by the way, Lillian Vasquez. Thank you for
She's
scheduling
amazing.
this, yes. And she was just raving about this. She says, you can just drive right up there. The TSA is friendly. It's easy to get through the security. There's not a lot of hassle. She says, it reminds me of Ontario Airport back in the 60s and 70s.
It's how flying should be.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy. It's convenient.
I got to tell you, there's a lot of times people say, do you want to fly up to San Francisco or something like that? I don't know. Maybe I'd just rather drive because it's such a hassle. And, parking is expensive usually, and it's a hassle to go through all the TSA and all that, getting checked in. And so that's good to know. And I'm learning more about this all the time. You can fly through Breeze. Now, Breeze, does it fly 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or?
So they fly to San Francisco and Provo, Utah, through San Bernardino 4 days a week.
Mhm.
So that's on Thursday, Friday, and then Sunday, Monday.
So is there a Breeze? We're doing a real big promo for Breeze Airlines, but that's okay because they support the airport. Is there a website that people can go to find this information out?
Absolutely. So the website for the airport is flysbd.com.
Flysbd.com.
And if your listeners are interested in visiting Breeze and their offerings, it's flybreeze.com.
Flybreeze.com. Very easy, very simple. I'm sure you can just Google Breeze Airlines.
Yeah, you can book through some of those other booking sites as well, those third-party booking sites.
Outstanding. And, you can find probably some pretty good ticket prices. The closer you get to the flight, it might be more expensive. But if it's just, I'm sure it's a demand kind of supply and demand thing. If the flight is kind of more empty, you probably can get tickets pretty easy.
Airlines these days are a whole lot like Uber pricing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And describe that because I don't know what you're talking about either. I don't use Uber.
It's all demand-based.
Oh,
so
okay.
The busier the flight, the closer in you get to the flight, it's not going to be the same.
Can they get
ticket
women
price as it was
pilots?
before?
What?
Uber's saying you can get a woman driver. I'm saying, can they get women pilots?
Oh, okay.
Are you telling us you like women pilots, Don?
I don't know.
I mean, I do.
They don't
My
let
wife's
me.
one.
They don't let me up. Is that good?
Your wife
There
is a
you-
pilot?
Yes,
There
sir.
you
Oh,
go.
wonderful. That's great.
She's pretty good at it.
Don, you just spice things
Women
up.
do great. I'm all for them.
Yeah, that's
Me
good
too,
thing.
Don.
Good thing. We're talking about Breeze Airways out of the Norton Air Force Base with the Director of Aviation of San Bernardino International Airport, Mark Gibbs. Now, if you don't know about Norton Air Force Base, there used to be an Air Force Base in San Bernardino. I think it closed in 1993 or 1995. Correct me. 1994.
Technically, they announced it in '92, and they were gone by 1994.
1994. And then they parceled certain things off to the Indian Nation nearby, the Band of Mission Indians, San Manuel, got first choice on a lot of things. Some of it got sold off, I believe, to Ross Perot. And
No, actually, those
I
are
have my
those are
history
great
wrong.
questions. Going back into history a little bit. So the airport is a little over 1,300 acres.
Uh-huh.
You're right. What is now the landing, that is the San Manuel owned property. A lot of people think it's part of the airport. It's actually not. I don't know how many acres it is exactly, but it's roughly 30 acres, I want to say.
Yeah, they moved the water tower onto it, and then it says San Manuel Landing on it now, and there's some big warehouses out there. I drive by it regularly. It's off of 5th Street, or 3rd Street, rather. There's also another, used to be called Millionaire Terminal out there. Do you have anything to do with that, or is that private?
Yeah, we actually own and operate that facility as the airport. Now, you'd never know it. It's not meant to feel like a government-run site, but that's where a lot of corporate aircraft and general aviation aircraft get their services through. So we we've been operating it as the airport as Taxsaver SBD for about the last 13 years.
Okay.
And it's a wild success.
Not something the average person can go buy an airplane ticket at. It's just, that's for general aviation and government planes and things like that.
Yeah, but driving down 3rd Street, it's a facility that a lot of people see. So it's one of the nicest. It's an old barnstorming turn, and Ken's probably familiar with it as well. They call them fixed base operators. Kind of a dorky term, but back in the barnstorming days, most services were somebody flying in a plane to help you out, fix your plane or whatever you need. And then they had something called fixed base, and that was a facility on an airport. And this term kind of stuck, even though it's kind of clunky. But they're essentially an executive terminal that provides the services for airplanes on an airport.
And there's a number, maybe I'm getting this wrong, because things change. There's a number of firefighting aircraft and stuff out there too?
Yeah. One of the part of the transfer of the base included a 20-acre carve-out for U.S. Forest Service. So they actually own that property, even though you couldn't tell if you were to, taxi a plane by it. Looks like it's all one big contiguous ramp, but because they have the facility here, it's very well located. As you and your listeners probably know, we've had a few fires in Southern California.
Do they use the same runway as like Breeze and all that too?
They do. They do. So if there's a big fire in the area, we're really busy with Forest Service activity.
Big tankers, water tankers, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I've seen them
they've
fly
grown
over
over the years.
Yeah, and then I see helicopters landing there.
Big helicopters for for Forest Service operations.
And so, Director of Aviation, you kind of oversee all that, correct?
I guess broadly speaking. I mean, I'm not flying the plane or telling where the plane's where to fly. That's up to the FAA. But when it comes to stuff on the ground, there's it's a big team that makes it all happen.
And there's a lot of activity out there, more than people know. Don and I occasionally have dinner. We might do it tonight at Corky's in Highland. It's brand new Corky's out there. Been there, I don't know if you're familiar with it, on 5th Street. There's a new Stater Brothers, a new Corky's, a new Costco, everything out there along.
How is Corky's, Mark?
I like it.
I think that's my second home.
Yeah. If you want to find Don, it's like his office home. But and the reason I bring this up is because, and I'll bring it back in here, they have a big patio that's pretty comfortable when it's not so hot on the inside. But when you sit in the patio, you can see these planes, and it's just like the flight path going right over 5th Street as they bank and turn around and start to land at Norton Air Force Base. And those planes are amazingly low. And going right over the belly of this big blue and white plane. I'm sure that's a Breeze airline.
They're hard to miss. Some of the larger planes, it could be Prime Flight or it could be Breeze. Prime Flight planes are a lot bigger than Breeze.
And there's some commercial cargo planes, and I'm going to mention a name here, FedEx.
Yes.
And there's FedEx.
Yeah, we have 3 cargo operations on the airport. The largest of which is Amazon. They've got a hub at the airport. The others they call gateways, and there's one for UPS, and there's one for FedEx. And the 3 of them operate multiple daily flights.
Lillian bought another one up, but I think FedEx kind of bought them up, and so they don't land there anymore. So it's just FedEx landing there. So about just how many airplanes, flights, and everything land and take off on that runway that you talked about getting revamped?
So last year was our busiest year, and we had what we call operations, and that's a plane taking off or landing. And we had 66,000 operations last year.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's growing.
Break that down. 365 days divided by 66. Eric, do the math for me on your computer. Tell how many flights a day that is, or approximately. I'm sure
I think it's about 180 a day.
180
I almost
a
threw
day.
up just thinking about the math. Sorry, guys.
Well, you have the calculator there. But, yeah, that's a lot. That's 180. That's, there's only 24 hours in a day. So it's going 24/7. It's kind of like I operate a radio station here 24/7. I have actually 5 of them. And, yeah, it takes a bit. It takes a bit. You got to be on your toes. And, sometimes I have the sleepy eyes and oh, my gosh. And sometimes things go right. Some things go wrong. And, transmitter down over the weekend, and
We like
they
it
gotta
when
work
things
it.
go right. That's our favorite.
Yeah, all right. And that doesn't necessarily mean anything like a disaster, but there might be something that goes wrong technically or something like that, and you have to fix it.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of moving parts at airports. I
Mhm.
mean, if you think about if you're looking at the number of people that work on the airport, we're talking about 4,300 people that work there, right? That's a
Wow.
lot of moving pieces.
4,300.
You have
There's a lot of vehicles.
4,300 though. That's remarkable. That's a lot of
4,300.
That's a
employment.
lot.
It is.
That's amazing
For that
I didn't-
small area.
I didn't realize it. It's
Well,
not
it's big,
really
but it's
small.
still, it's big, but it's still kind of small.
Well, people compare it to like Los Angeles or Ontario, but think about this, Don. They've got firefighting equipment. They've got governmental aviation equipment. They've got cargo equipment, and then they have passenger stuff going. I'm going to bump you up a little bit. Anybody can run an Ontario passenger airplane, just passengers in and out. But when you're trying to coordinate cargo and military airlift, probably a little bit here and there, and government, and
Well, and we like our friends over at Ontario. They provide a good service. It's a busy, what we call a medium hub airport.
Mhm.
And but when it comes to service, they've been in the business a lot longer than we have.
So I'm going to ask you a difficult question here.
Yeah, please.
Because, back in the day, I keep reading, and I was reading and keeping and monitoring about all of this, and, how much it was costing, and, it was a lot of it was gifted by the federal government, but at the same time taking it over, you inherited things that you needed to be fixed, and like you said, all these projects, and what you call bread and pickle or bread and butter
bread and butter.
bread and butter projects, and you had a couple thousand of those, and you had to get all those accomplished. It took money. I'm sure it takes a good amount of money to run the airport. What's an average yearly budget of San Bernardino International Airport?
We're about $140 million a year.
Wow. And you oversee some of that?
Well,
Not-
it's a big operation.
I mean, you're responsible for making sure and executing it, but at the same time, that of course, the Joint Powers Authority and everything else
That's right.
oversees that.
Mhm.
And Mr. Burroughs, probably the CEO in charge of all that.
Mhm.
But that's a lot. That's astounding. The number of jobs out there, the number of flights out there. This is like a big deal for San Bernardino and Loma Linda and Colton and the county government.
It is a big deal. Airports are important places. They provide really important services, and it's really a facilitation of a lot of economic activity.
We
in the
see a lot of
region.
warehouses around.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of goods and services being trucked into the airport and being loaded in.
Yep, and those are making their way all throughout the country, East Coast to the north, to the North Midwest. I mean, to Florida, to JFK, to Boston, to Seattle. It's all over the country.
Yeah. That's why you see so much activity down there.
It is.
That's why you probably see Stater Brothers down there. It makes it easier for them to get their goods and services. And various different Pep Boys has a big warehouse down there. I'm
Stater Brothers?
Stater Brothers. And we just said that. All of those benefit from the airport and FedEx and UPS and all of those. Just an amazing thing going on down there. And it's happening right under people's noses, so to speak. If you're not paying attention, if you're not looking, you really don't know what's happening.
Well, I tell you, and an interesting piece, Mark, that a lot of people may or may not know about, and this isn't just San Bernardino, it's airports in general. There's no local tax dollars involved in airports.
Well, that was the other tough question I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
How much
so-
is this costing us?
So nothing, unless
Nothing.
you fly. Now, when you buy a ticket as a passenger,
Mhm.
there are tax dollars that go into the airport system. But if you don't, there is no dollars coming out of your pocket.
But that's just like if you went to Ontario or Long
Ontario,
Beach. or-
LAX,
Yeah.
even the general aviation airports.
Mhm.
No local tax dollars fund airports. They're self-funded.
So Breeze Airways, you can go to San Francisco. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Mhm.
You can go to Utah.
You can.
Lillian said something about Las Vegas, and I said, I don't know about that one. Do you do Las Vegas?
They did Las Vegas for a short bit. That one didn't stick. We'll see if that one comes back.
Yeah, that one should come back.
It should. Everybody
should.
loves Vegas.
Maybe the San Manuel people said, we don't want that. But anyway, I don't know. Was that some political stuff going on there? I'm just not going to say anything
Who
about
knows?
that. Who knows that? So San Bernardino International Airport, the website for it is flysbd.com. And then, of course, flybreeze.com. Very easy.
You got it.
And very easy to do. How many days a week? Do you work like 8 days a week or?
That's
5
what
days
my
a week?
wife tells me.
But she's a pilot.
She is. We're both pilots technically.
Oh, okay. So you fly too.
We do. Yeah. So we help each other out when we're in the cockpit, and we like to switch off. She'll fly one leg, I'll fly the other.
What do you fly?
Oh, just little airplanes.
Not big breeze airplanes or anything
No,
like
not
that?
big breeze airplanes.
Oh, okay.
I'm too busy. I'm working 8 days a week.
Learjet?
Nope, not flying those.
I got a cousin who's in the Air Force City. He comes out from Payson, Arizona, flies into Upland, and they do flight instruction for flight instructors. Jim Hunt, you probably don't know him, but
Have them bring you a pie from Payson. They've got the most amazing pies at Payson, Arizona.
oh, do you? Yeah, so fly over there and get some pie. How neat! You could just able to say that, Don. Hey, Corky says good pies, but I imagine that we should go fly over to Payson one of these days with Mr. Gibbs here.
Maybe I'll do that on my way to Las Vegas.
Got to ask you kind of an off question here. Pacific High School has an auditorium named Gibbs Auditorium. They just tore it down and they're redoing it. You any related to those Gibbs?
If they named it after me, I appreciate it, but to my knowledge, they have not.
No, it's been around since a long, long time. And that's gone now, by the way. It's just they totally tore it down, and they're building another auditorium, and I don't know what they're going to name the auditorium.
They should keep the name.
They should
it's a
keep
good
the
name.
All right.
But no relation as
you heard
as
it
far
here
as I
first.
know.
Yeah. And, it's a great thing you're doing, and you've been a big part of history. And it's been a pleasure having you and speaking, and it seems like the time goes so fast. But what's your favorite part about the airport?
I'm a big fan of concrete. It's one of my favorite things. So without it, we wouldn't have an airport and nothing would happen. But I'm a big fan of runways, taxiways, ramps. I think it's great.
Maintenance of it all. And
it could be a sickness, but it's a passion for me.
do you drive around the runway and dodge the planes?
No, it's safety first.
Very good. Safety first, but what an incredible operation. Let me get these numbers right, and you correct me. 4,600?
Oh, employees.
Employees.
4,300 people work on the
43
airport.
employees. That's my big number that's stuck in my brain. 4,300 people, and good jobs. And then you have how many flights in and out every year?
Last year was our record year at over 66,000.
66,000, probably going to increase from there. And there's so much going on out there. And, if you're driving out there and you don't know where Norton Air Force Base is, it's just real simple. You're driving down Tippecanoe, or you're driving down...
we're 2 miles from a major freeway in any direction, north, south, east, or west. And don't forget, if you are flying breeze, parking's $5 a day.
$5 a day. That's the big slogan. Well, thank you, Mr. Gibbs. I got a first name that I like, Mark.
That's a great
We're
name
both
you got
Marks.
there, Mark.
Thank you. And Ken Nelson, thank you for being out here from the museum. And thank you to Lillian Vasquez for arranging these interviews. Thank you to Donald Williamson.
Thank you.
And for hosting the show and sponsoring the show. And, of course, thanks to Eric Osario in the engineering room for making this all possible, too. I'm Mark Westwood on the Donald Williamson Taxsaver and More show here on KCA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, the stations that leave no listener behind. We'll be back with the Water Zone right after this.
Emergency news on KCAA Loma Linda, sponsored by Teamsters Local 1932. Protecting the future of working families, Teamsters1932.org.